Hi, everybody, coming to you on a Friday morning. Guess what? Day number 9 of no precipitation. That will change tomorrow on your Saturday. So, obviously, the story is we need the precipitation. So far, the month of December has had, I'm sure you know this answer, the big zero. The big zero. One of our wettest months typically. And we talked last time that even with planned rain coming in on Saturday, tomorrow, and some more precipitation this month, obviously. Um, all of the models love December being really dry, less than 50% of normal through the 31 days. That could change, but we'll see. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill coming to you from the Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington area. The big story is tracking this low you see here on the left, and look at all the moisture fetch ahead of it. The front is back here on the back edge of these clouds. And right here, see, there's an upper level high right here. See the ridging of the upper level contour? And it's a pretty strong ridge. That's a 582 millibar height just to the south of Portland. 576 contour up to our north. So that's been holding off these Pacific storms, but the ridge will break down tomorrow. And as the front comes in, it will be strong enough to go through the gorge, which means tomorrow during the day, the east winds in the gorge will finally end. It has been breezy to gusty out there in some areas. And the temperature inversions that have produced still low cloud areas from the Dalles, Hood River out through Pendleton, all of that will end. And at least temporarily for the next several days starting tomorrow. The threat of the dense valley fog, freezing fog, all of that will come to an end as well. Models, and I'll show you the total numbers, love the coast picking up over an inch of rain on Saturday. And they love Mount Hood being 6 to 12 inches of snow, higher amounts when you get up in higher elevations coming in Saturday night through Sunday. So, obviously, both terrific news items. I want to touch briefly. Now, notice the yellow. This is really important. This was Thursday. Yesterday, all tsunami warnings were canceled at about 5 minutes before 12 o'clock noon. So if you've heard about this, you're wondering, hey, what was going on? Well, what happened was there was a 10:44 in the morning magnitude 7.0 earthquake detected. This was 45 miles southwest of Eureka, California, offshore. So pretty near the California coastline, right? And it was 8 miles in depth. Now, while 8 miles down, if you're drilling, sounds like, wow, that's really deep. In terms of earthquakes, 8 miles down is considered shallow. So the magnitude of 7, really strong. The shallowness of the quake prompted pretty much an immediate tsunami warning to be put out. The two tsunami offices that we watch, Honolulu and then up in Palmer, Alaska, the tsunami warning came out almost immediately at 10:44 and was canceled shortly before noon. So it was up for more than an hour. The bottom line is no tsunami happened. There was not any significant rise in elevation of water. So that was good news. But the warning was up from basically San Francisco all the way up to the Lane County line in Oregon. So Florence is in Lane County. That was not included. But at one point, there was a note out of Reedsport saying, we believe we could see elevation of up to 10 feet. Now, I don't know what prompted that advisory. That did not come true, but that certainly was scary. And then down into Bandon and all the way down into Brookings. Again, as far as I know, there was no noted significant rise in any of the waters, and both offices quickly canceled that tsunami warning, realizing it was not going to develop about an hour and 10 minutes after the earthquake hit. So, good news there. We were live on KGW with the warning and following the reports, talking to different sheriff's departments, and at the end of the day, it turned out to be nothing. But good news. All right. Well, let's see here. The Momentous Wealth Podcast. Listen on Apple Podcasts, listen on Spotify. This is from a local investment firm, the one that I use and I highly recommend, Momentous Wealth Management. Their home office is in Vancouver, but they're licensed in both Oregon and Washington. And basically, their podcast, they put out a number of different investment topics, I think largely geared toward people saving for retirement and that type of thing. So I highly recommend listening to those podcasts. All right, let's get you going with the pattern change. So after today, we will say, at least for a little while, goodbye to the dry weather and the sunshine. Beautiful. These were early morning shots. Look at that. Tillamook Head, gorgeous. There is the low cloud temperature inversion, what I call lockdown. It's been in place for days. They haven't had any real noticeable fog in Hood River out to the Dalles. It's just been cloudy and cold with no sun. There was kind of a cool look early this morning from Willamette Valley Vineyards, some low, shallow ribbon fog, and then, of course, the clear skies up top. The heavy frost still out there. Look at the Oregon Garden. Talk about heavy frost. And there's heavy frost on the golf course at 1,500 feet. Sunshine over in central Oregon today, downtown Portland. Still cloudy. This is an area, so it's not only been cloudy in Hood River, the Dalles, and Pendleton, the Columbia Basin. But there's also been an area just east of Mount Hood, which is where Warm Springs is. And this is the Canita Hot Springs Resort camera. And you can see, I mean, these hills aren't that high. And there's the clouds locking down. There are some people enjoying I think the water temperatures there, one of the pools, I think, is greater than 84 degrees. So it feels pretty nice. All part of my live camera network. Okay, what's going on? Here is our low that we saw just a moment ago. Here's the fetch of moisture that will be coming in. It doesn't look like we get into any thicker cloud cover until either late today or tonight. So for the most part, today's going to be partly sunny and really pretty nice after the cold, frosty start. We've had east winds out near the gorge gusting generally to about 25 this morning, but away from the immediate gorge outflow, it's been pretty quiet wind-wise. Here is the National Blended Model. Let's track some rain. This is their future radar product, if you will. And this is 10 o'clock tonight. So this is all dry through the day, and for the most part, all dry through the evening. So late evening getting into midnight, here's the rain starting to get close to the Long Beach Peninsula right there, and there's Astoria. So generally, this would be 1 a.m. Generally, we think even the coast is dry through about midnight. And then overnight, the rain comes into the coast. Here's 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Thick cloud cover, potentially some light rain starting to fall in Portland, but you can plainly see if you have plans on this Friday night, you're fine. Here comes, and notice this is not scattered, this is solid rain. And most forecast models show a period of at least 4 hours of solid rain with this front passing. And maybe it's even more. There's some more moisture that fills in behind it. So let me back this up. When do we get into? Here's the steady rain band picking up in Portland. This is 7 o'clock in the morning. It's raining, still raining through the noon hour, and then here we are at 4 in the afternoon. So if this is correct, it's just a steady rain Saturday from 7 in the morning up and down I-5 all the way through 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Again, I think it's at least 4 hours of steady rain, all areas once this rain hits. And it could be longer than that. This does show the front. The modeling brings it into Portland as soon as 9 in the morning, but then because we have such dry air and the east wind blowing against it, the front slows. And that's why the rain could last a lot longer. It's unknown just how long it takes for that front to push through the area. This has it at 4 o'clock, clearly past the coast where they're starting to dry out. And then getting into the evening hours of tomorrow, we quickly start to dry out. But see the more rain back here to our west. There's a trailing low that will bring scattered showers into our areas Saturday, overnight, and Sunday. And that's with the snow levels dropping up in the Cascades, which I'll touch on in just a moment. So let's talk about rain amounts. So how much rain falls just with the frontal band on Saturday? This is rain through 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon. And notice this shows about a half of an inch of rain south coast. But you get up into Tillamook, there's 83 100s. There's over an inch in Astoria. And then the red colors are heavier amounts up in northern Washington and Canada, lesser amounts to the south. But still, it shows at least a quarter to maybe 3/10 down in Eugene and Albany and Salem, about a half of an inch on average in Portland and up into Kelso Longview. That's just during the day. And then you've got amounts that are above a half of an inch up into Seattle. So that's with the rain band. Let's say call it up to a half of an inch in the Willamette Valley, up to an inch of rain at the coast. But then remember, there's more showers coming Saturday overnight through Sunday. I'm not going to tack on a lot of total rain amounts, but this does. Well, what was Portland? See, it didn't show. It doesn't pick up that much more. There's 57 100s to maybe some heavier showers in the East County, 88 100s. There's about a half of an inch of rain down south of Newport. So we've added some total moisture amounts, but not a lot. And notice it's always interesting to see the rain shadow. Here's the cutoff of the moisture getting over the Cascades, and then it picks up again out toward the Blue Mountains. Okay. What about mountain snow? So we all know it's been dry in the mountains, the Cascades. We all know the snow levels have been pretty high. I mean, Timberline's been as warm as 45 degrees in the morning. So this initial frontal boundary that comes in Saturday later in the morning into the afternoon will be all rain over Mount Hood passes and up at Timberline too. I think the initial rain line will be rain up to 7,000 feet. But then once the front passes, now primarily we're talking late Saturday afternoon or maybe not until dark in the evening, snow levels will sharply drop to about 3,000 feet Sunday morning. It looks like with this trailing low coming in, there's a vigorous enough west flow pattern that we will get some decent snow amounts Saturday overnight, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. So through that period, this shows the upper elevations of Mount Hood seeing as much as 17 inches of snow. Even if that's up high, that's great news for the overall snowpack, right? And look at the upper elevations up around Rainier in Washington, 30 inches. Wouldn't that be something? Wow, that'd be super cool. Now, the blue amounts are generally at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of snow. So my thinking is that there's the chance that at government camp and other Cascade passes for early morning travel Sunday morning, those passes will be snow covered, they'll be below freezing, and there could be 6 inches of snow. And then we could add a few inches during the day with more snow showers. So that's the thinking on the snow situation. I want to show you uh, I want to step away from snow and I'll get back to it. And I want to talk about the east winds. Here are the clouds out in the Hood River and back into Carson, which is just a little bit east of Stevenson. So, again, much of the gorge near and east of the dam has been cloudy for days and days and days. Notice Crown Point 32. Always fun to check out their east winds. This is the gorge page from my weather site that I own and operate, portlandweather.com. So, all this information is easily available to you. I clicked on the current temperature map to get the winds at any of those specific sites. So the gorge at 8:45 this morning, Crown Point, the Vista House, which is that elevated kind of wind tunnel area, was still gusting to 70 miles per hour. So again, those east winds, depending on where you are quite strong in the Columbia River Gorge. Those will be ending during the day Saturday as that cold front comes in. And I do want to touch on my Mount Hood forecast. 40, see, here's the temperature version. 43 up there now, 41 Hood, 43 Ski Ball, Government Camp 40. Obviously the passes. Oh my goodness. Remember Government Camp was totally covered in snow? Well, days and days of above normal temperatures in the afternoon finally taking the toll. See, now we've got patches of snow at Government Camp. That's new since just the other day. Patches of snow at Santiam and even Willamette. So we need to get some snow going. Here's my snow forecast. This is rain Saturday. That'll wipe out even more snow. But could be 3 inches of snow start to develop late day into the evening. And then you've got 5 to 8 Saturday overnight through Sunday afternoon. So all potentially, you've got 8 inches or more at Government Camp. That's good news. And potentially more than a foot at 5,000 feet at Ski Bowl and Bachelor and Mount Hood Meadows. But then we go back to some dry weather on Monday and Tuesday with the next system rolling in. It looks like Wednesday overnight into Thursday of next week. Again, this is all of this information is on my Mount Hood page on my weather site, portlandweather.com. And if you scroll down, you can get all these other pass cameras, which is great. Siskiyou Summit, 37 degrees, Cabbage Hill, 31. Okay. Real quick, let's just look at the overall flow pattern. I know a lot of you like to do that. This is the European model at 18,000 feet, 500 millibars. This is the system that drops in tomorrow. This is Saturday afternoon. Doesn't look like much on the upper level areas, but there's the trailing low right in here where my cursor is. And that's going to fuel those showers into day Sunday. Now, by Sunday afternoon, everything's starting to pull out, and we'll probably start to see decreasing showers. Here's the new ridge that gives us dry weather on Monday and Tuesday into Wednesday. And that will come back with more freezing temperatures in the valley. Possibly Monday morning, certainly Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll get a lot of freeze again. Notice this has been the theme so far the last couple of weeks. This is a really deep trough that redevelops across the nation's eastern half. This is Tuesday. There's the 540 polar jet all the way down to Missouri, Iowa state line. Wow. Okay. And then here is Wednesday. Remember, the next chance of rain is Wednesday night, Thursday, the next week. It's a system that initially cuts into California with the main trough setting out here. This is Thursday afternoon. It looks like this would be feeding us some surface moisture Thursday during the day. And then moisture continues as the trough swings in Friday into that following weekend on Saturday. Now, this is fairly low. Here's 540. Here's the 546 contour. This actually always highlights the 540 contour. And my weather training teaches me that actually the 546 is a polar jet. So my point is, going into next weekend, this will be a snow level down to 2,000 feet in the Cascades. That's typically what it is when you see a polar jet upper level height, 2,000 feet. So that impacts travel the weekend for that weekend and brings us some needed snow. Now here is getting into the first of the week. This is Monday the 16th. There's another system coming in. Here's the 546 low. Again, the meat of the system drops into California. which means that's probably where the heavier moisture is going to be. We'll get some, but when these systems have the meat of their low pressure areas go into California, often we end up getting some, but far less, and quite frankly, disappointing moisture amounts that we're hoping for. So there's still time for this to change, obviously, but that's what we're looking at. And then there's a little bit of a ridge coming in to this is Thursday the 19th. Now we're going to get into this is the weekend before Christmas. There's another system. This would be snow down to pass level, it looks like, or at least down below 5,000 feet with some rain in the valley on Saturday, the 21st. Then it looks like some drying on Sunday. Now here's Monday, December 23rd. That's a 546 low. That's pretty good moisture. Maybe more into the Bay Area of California, maybe more in Southern Oregon and less in Portland, less up in Seattle, but some chilly temperatures and the promise of at least some mountain snow and valley rain. And then that clears. This is Tuesday the 24th. Tuesday 24th, this is Christmas Eve. This would be a primarily dry day if that would hold. And then that would be either a dry Christmas day with wet weather down in California or a chance of just some frivolous showers. And then we'll watch that all that system kind of redevelop. You know, it's that time of the year where you put very little stock into in looking at so far because the jet stream patterns and the winds aloft are so quick that the modeling just doesn't keep up with rapid changes of position or intensity or timing. So, but always kind of fun to take a look out. All right, let's go around the horn, shall we? Medford, 54 today, 51 Saturday. This is widespread rain across the area, including Southern Oregon on Saturday. This is a dry Sunday, and then we'll look for some chances of moisture picking up down in Medford the mid part of next week. That's pretty similar to Portland. 51 in Bend today. Chance of rain developing Saturday. Likely moisture Saturday overnight and the Sunday. Look at Sunday morning's low. That could be some snow in the morning over in Central Oregon as those snow levels drop down to 3,000 feet over the Cascades, and then all dry to start next week. Okay. Again, pretty similar in terms of the wet patterns to what we're going to find in Portland. Seattle, rainy Saturday, some showers on Sunday, a dry Monday, Tuesday, rain chances pick up. Again, the timelines that we've been talking about. Our capital city, 45 this afternoon. You folks have been getting out of the fog lately. You will have steady rain for a good chunk of Saturday, Sunday showers, dry on Monday, Tuesday, that late chance of rain on Wednesday and Thursday. Pretty much what we talked about, right? Let's bounce it up to Astoria. Temperatures primarily in the 50s. 50s with the rain on Saturday and 54 on Sunday, then a dry Monday. What about down in North Bend? 56 today, 50s tomorrow with showery weather to rain at times into Sunday, a dry Monday, Tuesday. All that's exactly like Portland. All right, courtesy of Hazeldale Tire Pros. And don't forget the Hillcrest Ski and Board Shop, Hillcrest Sports for winter sports up out in Gresham. They sponsor my Mount Hood page, and I thank you for that. They have rentals. You can buy new gear. They have clothing. They have everything that you need. All right, 49 degrees today in Portland, partly cloudy skies to mostly sunny. The rainy day tomorrow. Remember, once it starts in the morning, at least 4 hours of steady rain, but maybe the front slows and it literally rains from 7 to 4 in the afternoon. That'd be a rainy washout Saturday if that's the case. Scattered stuff on Sunday, decreasing later in the day. All dry on Monday, Tuesday. Certainly freezing temperatures in the valley on Tuesday, Wednesday morning, and then that rain chance picks up either late day Wednesday or maybe not until Wednesday overnight going into Thursday. All right. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. You get notified when I post a new video. It also helps me out. I'm meteorologist Rod Hill. My weather site's portlandweather.com, and I will talk to you soon.